Alright, hello all you crazy people out there, my name is Dragonite, and welcome back to Harvest December. I sat dazed by the low table with my cheek propped up against my fist. Propped on my fist. I like how I just randomly assume that words are there and they're not. When I shifted my position, it caused the pages of the notebook under my elbow to crease. Opposite me, there was another open notebook, but the owner wasn't there. There's a faint scent to the room. The unfamiliar scent you smell each time you visit somebody else's home. The more I sat there, the more frequently I visited, the scent would fade into something unnoticeable. It was probably still there, except that I was adjusting to it. That meant I'm becoming too familiar with this. It was the fourth day since I moved into Yuki's room. The only thing I brought with me was a Boston bag and a few boxes. I hadn't even unpacked yet. I didn't feel ready to make myself at home, yet I couldn't bring myself to change my mind and leave. I don't know what I want, I sighed. I've kept you waiting. The Fusuma door opened to Yuki, sitting outside with a tray on her knees. She had prepared a tray of Japanese tea. I told you I would do that. I'm doing this because I want to. Your body doesn't belong to just you anymore. You have to be careful. She didn't reply, but went forward to prepare the tea. She stumbled a little. I almost stood up to help, but she stood up. She stopped me with a glare. She steadied herself and continued to pour the cup of tea. If my body doesn't belong to me, then who else would it belong to? White steam rose from the cup in the thin white line. It's yours and the child's. And thanks for the tea. Who else? Yuki tried to speak, but I silenced her with a look. We sipped our tea quietly for a while. She was cradling her cup in both her hands. She then let go of her cup and placed her palms on her stomach. She looked as if she was warming the child growing inside of her. I realized time was running out. It's kicked me again, especially when Yuki stroked her belly like that. I have to go to the bathroom. I stood up and left. Yuki liked her tea brewed strong. It was the only thing we disagreed on in taste. Before I returned to the room, I headed to the kitchen to have a glass of water. Masaki-kun! I was stopped. Can we have a moment with you? It was Shiro, head of the Towada, and her husband Ayumu. I didn't think I could run away, so I just followed them into the room. I've already had a cup of tea, thank you, I told Shiro, who was trying to make me another cup. So Yuki hasn't been doing as she was told. Shiro-san, what do you mean? The tannins in the green tea are not good for her because it obstructs the absorption of iron, which is important for pregnant women. So, surely I don't need to tell you that, of all people. Why so? Because you do know. I almost retaliated. You're right. But I realized she was right. I had read so many books. Mashiro-san, Masaki-kun is still young. You can't expect him to notice everything. Ayumi-san, when we had Yuki, you weren't able to do anything at all. You have no say in this. Yes, ma'am. I wondered why the men of Tagami are so weak against the women. This was problematic. Are you comfortable here? I've lived here before. Because of my experience living here in March, I was familiar with the large house. I knew you would live with us, but I didn't expect it to happen so quickly. Mashiro laughed. I didn't. How is my mother? Happy she doesn't need to cook for you, and happy she can spend more time gaming. And here I thought I was family. There comes a time when a child must leave the nest. Although I find it funny that the parent gains the ticket to freedom. Anyway, you're here. What are you trying to say? Yuki's body doesn't just belong to her anymore. Then who does it belong to? I asked Mashiro the same question Yuki asked me a while ago. A moment ago, whatever. The child and Yuki and... I didn't want to hear it. You, of course. But there it was in the open. When Mashiro finally let me go, I returned to the room to find Yuki looking tired of waiting. That took a long time. It was Mashiro-san. She said you wanted to call her mother. Is that so? And Yuki? I told you. You mustn't catch a cold till you have to stay warm. I couldn't sleep without you. She was sitting on top of her futon that the servants had laid out for us. Even so, your body doesn't just belong to you anymore. Oh no. Then who does it belong to? This question again. I had realized I had just dug my own grave. Still. Us. I'm glad you managed to say it. I can feel the child's happy too. She looked so pleased, I felt like I had managed to make it up to her. And it gets dark. I turned the lights off and heard her climb into bed. I watched her settle herself in with my finger still against the light switch. I wish they'd stop trying to be so considerate, I muttered to myself and stared out at the single futon laid out on the floor. A single futon was a single futon, and if one slept in it, it meant that the other would be left alone in the only situation the only solution to fix this was to hurry up and come to bed. I can't sleep alone. Yuki lifted the corner of the blanket. Sorry, I spaced out a little bit there. I didn't know if my response made any sense, but I crawled in beside her anyway. The futon was warm. What were you talking about with Mother? Go to sleep, Yuki. You're the one that started these talks before we go to bed. Yuki chided me for trying to keep a secret from her. The room what? I hit A too fast again. The room was dark, but somehow I could tell she was smiling. She told me to take good care of you. That's not just it, I'm sure. Her voice reverberated against the ceiling. Because I was careless, like now. I should tell you not to sleep on your back. Oh. Yuki shifted her body to sleep on her side. When she said her body didn't just belong to her anymore, it was meant in a literal way as well. The child in her stomach weighed over a kilo. Because of the weight, sleeping on her back would put pressure on some large arteries, causing bad circulation. She could faint, I think. Yeah, she could feel faint. I'm sorry. We were both careless. We were so close I could feel her breath brush against my ear. She told me I should look out for you. And when I didn't notice, you should look out for yourself. We still have a long way to go. We do. We're both so inexperienced. I had no idea how much experience would be enough. I can see your face. Yuki held my hand. I wondered why I never thought of this before. If I can sleep this way, I can see you till I fall asleep. Yuki, you're embarrassing me. I'm not embarrassed. You're tempting me to try and embarrass you. Please do. This is why reality is merciless. I dug my own grave again. Pregnancy was tiring. It took twice the amount of energy. As soon as I closed my eyes and pretended to sleep, Yuki relaxed and dozed off. So close. I felt like I deserved punishment since it was probably inappropriate for me considering our circumstances. If I reached out now, I could hold her. But now Yuki Towada wasn't living as a girl but as a mother. We stood on different grounds and just the thought stopped me. So instead I held her hand. Snoring noises. Her expression softened. She was asleep, but she was still able to feel me. I looked up to the ceiling, then to her other side. Out the window, I could see the snow falling. And... oh. A pair of golden lights. It didn't matter that we were on the Towada premises. Everybody that lived on this land knew that humans were weak. Because the land belonged not to men, but to gods. A wolf was watching us. Doubt. Okay. That sounds fun. I stuffed another set of spare clothes in my bag and placed the plastic cover on it before I closed the zipper. I hope the insides will be safe. Opening the curtain, I could see the blizzard beating against the window. According to the weather report, we were having one of the worst years of snow. I decided to be extra cautious and wrapped the contents of my bag in plastic twice. A laptop was inside too, and I couldn't afford it to break. It multiplied. The scenery outside was mostly black and white. But against the monochrome backdrop, there were a few dots of gold. The golden eyes of wolves, the servants of our gods. I asked Mikami about them, but the only answer I got was that it was because Shiro was unstable. Shiro's instability was my fault. That meant stray wolves roaming the town and the blizzard were caused by me. The only saving grace was that the wolves did nothing to harm people. Those wolves are probably only there to watch over you, Masaki. That's what Mikami said. According to Mikami, Shiro was feeling unwell and staying with the home she had made. She didn't have enough energy to take care of the wolves in the state she was in. So it meant the wolves were either moving around according to their own will, or following Shiro's subconscious orders. It was impossible for me to have peace of my own mind now. The shaking wolves, the beating snow, the wolves, everything disturbed me. I was doing what I believed was right, but I felt like I was strangling myself. I couldn't accept everything that was happening. I couldn't accept myself. You want me to drive you after this? You think it's a good idea to drive through the snow? Hey, you underestimate Mami-chan's driving techniques. I finished the most difficult race course in under a minute the other day. But that's just your gaming record. I'll show you. Now finish your drink, it's cold outside. I don't want to die. I sipped at my hot cup of hot lemonade. Hot lemonade? That's something I can't say I've heard of before. I felt a little bit better. Kohai Toyama was leaning against the wall by the entrance of the shop. The wooden sliding door rattled, and as time passed, it worsened, threatening to fall over. This is bad. Yeah. I hate to say this, but I'm bored too. Yeah. He answered half-heartedly to Yumi's half-hearted questions. Usually, even in the worst weather, they would have at least a couple of customers. But today, not a single one. I was expecting Masaki-kun to come by today, but at this rate, I doubt we need him at all. I don't know what I just did, but okay. Is he still working part-time here? He doesn't come by as often anymore. Hope he does well for the entrance exams. What about me? You don't need any entrance exam. Are we still going through this, really? Yumi said as she nodded to herself. What makes you think so? But I wonder why Masaki keeps working at a place like this. A place like this? Or rather, I wonder why he keeps working at all. It doesn't look as if he needs the money. Kohai pretended not to see Yumi glaring at him. He did say it was just in case. What does he mean, just in case? He's in an emergency situation right now with 2 children on the way. That's true. Maybe he's saving up in case he needs to run away. Who knows? They didn't expect any answers. They simply made assumptions and looked at each other with a shrug. What do you think, Sanae? Me? I like how she always looks either confused or annoyed in these pictures on the top screen. Sanae took a moment to react, as if she didn't realize she had been spoken to. She turned towards Kohai with a dazed face. We were talking about Masaki. Just wondering how he plans to use the savings. I don't know. She turned away again and stared down at the dry cutting board placed by her hands. Hey, why are you so glum? We don't have anything to do right now, so might as well enjoy each other's company. I can't. Yumi looked wary. At the cultural festival, Kohai and Sanae kept contact to a minimum. Yumi still didn't know about Mayuri. Sooner or later, she would find out. But not now, not while they were stuck in the room together. Oh yeah! Kohai suddenly said as if he had just remembered. Any type of conversation was welcome at this point. Both Yumi and Sanae gave him their full attention. The New Year party. We've got to start planning for it soon. Is it that time of year already? Is it already that time of year? Sanae must have felt uncomfortable too. She chimed in, eager to change the mood. I thought we should gather for a meeting around next week. Mind if we use this place? No problem, as long as you all order and pay for your food. How many are coming? The usual group, Madoe, Mayoi, Dr. Manakira, and Sakura and Mayuri. How many people do you know? That's quite a number. Anybody else? Yumi thought as she paused because he was trying to remember the rest. She urged him on. Instead, Kohai glanced at Sanae, standing in the kitchen. She kept staring down at the cutting board without moving a muscle. Even her expression stayed blank. It stayed blank, but still visibly paled. But she visibly paled. I think we should close shop for the day. Mom? We aren't going to get any customers in the blizzard anyway. No point paying Kohai for just standing around here, Yumi grinned. Well then, I'm leaving. Right, Yumi nodded. The door closed, muffling the sound of the wind. What happened between you and Kohai? Yumi asked her daughter. Even his hair felt frozen. Kohai regretted believing the weather report. Then they had said the blizzard would come by nightfall. He moved carefully in the snow. Habit was a dangerous thing, and he knew that at any moment a careless slip might end up fatal. His ears hurt from the cold. He wished he had brought a hat. Damn it! He cursed under his breath, but the blizzard swallowed it all. I bet she'll find out soon. It was impossible to keep anything from Yumi. She had watched him grow up since he was little, and knew him too well. Lately, he hadn't seen Mayuri. School was closed because the roads were blocked from the snow. They were given loads of homework instead, which Kohai didn't appreciate. He talked with Mayuri on the phone. She would talk about things that weren't serious, yet weren't too late. Mayuri was much smarter. She knew what a comfortable distance was to him and kept it that way. It was only when he was with Mayuri that he could keep his mind off Sanae. Thinking from an outsider's perspective, Kohai concluded that Masaki had made the right choice. Yuki would be happy now that she had got what she had wanted. Then another thought. Yuki was happy, but... Shiro-sama. What about the other girl? She didn't turn back, even when Kohai ran forwards to meet her. Her mouth hung open, her eyelids drooped in a sleepy gaze. She wasn't looking at anything. There was nothing to look at. There was only the pitch-black darkness and the white snow. Why are you here? Are you alright? I thought you were with Mikami-sama. Where's Masaki? Masaki? I've been searching for him, but I can't find him. I, it's been calling him, but he doesn't answer. It's been calling him? Isn't he a terrible father? Who's calling him? I'm talking about Masaki and my child, of course. Oh, the kid. When I try to sleep, it kicks me asking, where is Dad? Where is he? Kohai knew that Masaki was living with Yuki now, but how could he tell Shiro that? Doesn't Shiro know that too? If he told her the truth, how would she react? Masaki's gone to cram school. It's terrifying to imagine. Where is this cram school? Oh, it's in the next prefecture, so Shiro-sama, I don't think you can go because you're a god, huh? It's always God. Shiro's unfocused eyes gleamed. Again, it's God again. But I'm a god. Masaki's chosen Yuki. Because I'm a god, I can't reach him. Curse it all. Her eyes darted left and right, trying to focus on Kohai. It frightened him. But next week, we'll all have to get together at Sine. He'll be there. You'll meet him. Just you wait. Kohai stuttered, desperate to bring some sense back into those golden eyes. Next week? Yeah. Alright, then I can wait. It's hard when I don't know when I'll see him. Shiro turned and began to walk away. Not a single snowflake touched her as she walked through the blizzard. One by one, the wolves followed. Kohai couldn't move. He couldn't move till he realized he could freeze to death. Till then, he just kept watching Shiro. He watched her till she disappeared into the darkness of the night, and all was left was white. Trampled. Alright, I think this is a good place to end it off, so I hope you all enjoyed that. My name is Dragonite. In the next part, we'll be continuing this November chapter in the Blizzard, and we'll see you all later.